I'll bring the Butte-Silver Bow Council of Commissioners Committee of the Whole meeting to order for Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. Can we please have a roll call?
1 presiding, 9 present, 2 absent.
Thank you. Please let the record reflect that Commissioner O'Neill and Commissioner Mankins is excused from tonight. Commissioner Walker, would you please lead us in the prayer and the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item on tonight's agenda is any public comment on any of the items that are on tonight's agenda. If there's any member of the public that would like to speak on any item on the agenda, now would be your opportunity. We do ask that you keep your comments down to 3 minutes, and I will start a clock. So welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
Dave Hutchins, 529 South Colorado. I'm here to talk to you about Communication 2026-85. I think we all know we're seeing xenophobia at the highest levels of our federal government. It is manifesting in policies and actions that are hateful and violent. And I think it's emboldening local racists and bigots. This is a sticker that I pulled down off some public property recently. I've pulled down dozens of these in the last few months. And I'm not going to read that into the record, but hopefully you can see what it says. And I think we all know that that is incorrect. Butte was built by immigrants. And I think it's time for this community to stand up and say that we insist on due process for all people, regardless of their immigration status. And I would go a little bit further personally and say that nobody is illegal on stolen lands.
Mr. Hutchins, you mentioned 2026-85. That's for Shanna Adams for Uptown Business. Okay, so 2026-83 for Jesse Gonzalez, the Neighborhood Watch. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we got that one correct. All right, thank you. Is there any other member of the public that would like to speak on any item on tonight's agenda?
Hi, my name is Carissa Story. I am from Trudy Healy's district. Children are deeply affected by emotional climate around them. When households operate under chronic stress, it impacts mental health, school performance, and long-term stability. As clinicians and community members, we know that uncertainty activates fear responses. When families feel informed and supported, those stress responses decrease. Public safety includes the emotional well-being of children. When we reduce fear and increase understanding, we create conditions where families can function, thrive, and contribute positively to the community. And with the influx of ICE within our communities, it is tearing at our children. My daughter is terrified. She is a mixed race. She's a person of mixed race. She has lots of friends who are immigrants, and every day they go to school with fear. And our children shouldn't be raised in an environment surrounding fear. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other member of the public that would like to speak on anything on tonight's agenda? Oh. Welcome, both of you. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Jessica Jones. I live at 821 West Granite. Constitutional literacy benefits everyone regardless of background or political belief. Understanding due process, lawful authority, and individual rights helps people engage responsibly and calmly with public institutions. Education is not about encouraging conflict, but it is about preventing it. When people understand how systems are supposed to function, it lowers anxiety and builds civic trust. Knowledge strengthens democracy, and strong democracies depend on informed residents.
Okay, thank you. I know there was another Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is AJ Brown, and I am in District 9. Unfortunately, Menkins is not available. Good evening. My name is AJ Brown. I'm a social worker, licensed addictions counselor, business owner, homeowner, and a parent raising my children in the city. I am grateful for the professional leadership that supports ethical practice, harm reduction, and informed community engagement. With the support of other professionals at colleges, restaurants, places of education, mental health providers, and unions, along with Amanda Krieg and Kelsey Thatcher, are those who support this endeavor. My work is guided by the National Association of Social Workers Code of Ethics: service, social justice, dignity, integrity, and competence. Shaking. That means challenging injustice, reducing harm, and ensuring people understand their rights and due process. Education reduces fear. Misinformation increases harm. Our county affirms inclusivity, resilience, and continuous improvement on the website. Those values matter now more than ever. And rhetoric that's coming from a national level saying that it's okay to ignore existing laws and we have alternative laws. It undermines our democratic norms and contradicts the commitments that we have made to serve our city. Public safety is not only enforcement, it is prevention. As a clinician, I see how chronic stress harms families. Harm reduction provides accurate information and practical tools so people can respond calmly and lawfully. Tonight, I propose creating a task force of elected officials and concerned citizens who support a calm, transparent, and safe community through collaboration and honest communication. If we don't know how to do that, we can look to Bozeman. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other member of the public who would like to speak on any item? Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
Katie Neski, 1013 Empire Street. So I'm speaking about the same thing as everyone else. In my work, I support kids in the foster system and also families that have kids with extra health care needs. And children in foster care are among the most vulnerable people in any community. And even when not targeting them, it creates fear that disrupts placement stability and children's ability to attend school, families' willingness to engage with courts. So when people understand their rights, know how to respond calmly, and have access to accurate information, crises are less likely to occur. That protects families, institutions, and public safety resources. Prevention is always less costly, emotionally and financially, than reaction. Reducing panic, strengthening understanding, and building communication channels are practical safety strategies. And prevention is public safety. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other member of the public that would like to speak? Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Brian Bigelow. I live at 821 West Granite Street. Chronic stress and uncertainty have real public health impacts on mental health, family stability, and community trust. When residents feel unsure about their rights or how to navigate government systems, that stress can ripple through entire neighborhoods. Providing clear, accurate education is a preventive health measure. Calm, informed communities experience fewer escalations and greater cooperation. Community safety includes emotional and informational safety, and I think our community could greatly benefit from all of that. And we have always been a strong community of various backgrounds, immigrants especially. Without immigrants, Butte would be absolutely nothing. And I think we need to keep that in mind in all forms of policy. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hello, my name is Lucas Henderson, and I live in District 9. I'm scared that ICE is going to take my funds. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other member of the public that would like to speak on any item on tonight's agenda? Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Simon Duddy. I live in the 6th District at 1355 Sunset Road. As we've just heard from the youth, I want to comment on that. The youth are scared. Everyone is scared. And when communities feel unheard, especially the youth, frustration builds. When communication breaks down, escalation becomes more likely. Proactive collaboration between residents and leadership reduces that risk. Creating space for dialogue, education, and transparency helps prevent misinformation and unnecessary conflict. Excuse me. Harm reduction means addressing concerns safely, early, and before tensions arise. An empowered community, which I believe Butte is one that understands its rights and responsibilities, and is one that is less likely to react in ways that create instability. Working together is not weakness, it is preventative leadership. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on any item that's on tonight's agenda? Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
Reddy Frost, 2000 Roberts Avenue. Since before the inception of this wonderful country in which we live, the young men that came over to settle it all agreed, and agreed so vehemently that all men are created equal and endowed with inalienable rights by their creator. They fought a war and won against an empire. And I'm a hot-blooded American young man, as much as all the rest of the folks in this county. I mean, this is Butte, America. And by God, the most American thing is treating everyone else that walks the lands that we have with the same level of respect that we treat each other with, and with the same rights that our founding fathers wrote into our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. Doesn't matter if you're not a citizen of this country, you're still a human being. And this Gestapo or ICE and what they've become is, I mean, they're alienating and stripping human beings of their humanity through the use of force that we've seen in this country so far. And I think all of you, and I think Butte stands for more than that. And I think we as a community all agree that we stand for more than that. And I think a lot of us agree with the founding fathers' original message, right? As we should, as God-fearing Americans. So I hope you all listen to Jesse's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Trevor Cox. Empowerment is a safety strategy. When people understand their rights and liberties, we're a lot more safer. ICE needs to be kicked out of this community. They don't deserve to be in this community. They're bad for communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments on any item that's on tonight's agenda? Okay, seeing none, I'll move on to the report of the chair. This is becoming too much of a common thing that comes up at the council. Butte had the unfortunate event of losing a couple cherished people this past week. One of them was Danette Harrington, who was a longtime public service employee here at Butte-Silver Bow. and Mike Smith, who is the reporter of the Montana Standard that spent about as much time at these meetings as we all have, reaching out, seeing what's going on in our community. It's going to be a little different not talking to him every week or so to hear what's going on. And Danette, I remember working up here in my teens, getting to know her as she was in Butte-Silver Courthouse. And so my heartfelt thoughts goes out to both of their families, and ask that everybody please monitor or a moment of silence for both those individuals. Okay, thank you all. I'll move on to section 1, bid openings, public hearings, and/or presentations. We do have a bid opening tonight. Communication 2026-64. Mark Neary, Public Works Director, requesting Council Commissioners' permission to schedule a bid opening for February 25th, 2026 for hot mix for the Butte-Silver Bow Roads Department. Director Neary, or I guess County Attorney Enruth, do you have proof of publication?
We have proof of publication.
Okay. For both of them?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Director Neary.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan, for the hot mix. We have 3 bids. The first one is from Jeffrey Contracting in Butte.
Chairman Morgan, we have a bid bond amount in the amount of 10% of the bid.
Okay, thank you. Director Neary.
Chairman Morgan, Commissioners, the total bid price on this is $82 a ton for the total of $1,230,000.
Can you repeat that? 1 million?
$1,230,000 even.
Okay, so that bid was $82 a ton and $1,230,000 even.
Yes.
Thank you.
The second bid is from Hollow Contracting from Butte.
Chairman Morgan, there's a bid bond amount in the amount of 10% of the overall bid.
Thank you. Director Neary.
Chairman Morgan, Commissioners, the total bid is $68.40 a ton for the total of $1,026,000.
Okay, thank you. That was $68.40 per ton with a total price of $1,026,000 even.
Yes.
Okay.
The third bid is from Montana Materials and Construction out of Helena.
Okay. County Attorney Enruth.
Chairman Morgan, we have a bid bond amount in the amount of 10% of the overall bid.
Thank you. Director Neary.
Chairman Morgan, Commissioners, the total price on this is $73.25 a ton for the total of $1,098,750.
$1,098,050.
750.
750. Okay, thank you. That was for $73.25 per ton, $1,098,750. Okay. Director Neary, does that complete all of the bids?
Yes.
Okay. Just so the public knows, the engineer's estimate was around 75 tons for $1,125,000. Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to refer communication number 2026-64 back to Public Works with a recommendation back to Council.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to refer the bids back to the Public Works Department for their recommendation. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would anyone like to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
10 yeas, 0 nay.
Thank you. Motion passes. Next item is number 2, Communication 2026-77. Mark Neary, Public Works Director, requesting Council of Commissioners permission to schedule a bid opening for February 25th, 2026 for the 2026 Road Division Mill and Fill Project. Director Neary.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. Looks like we have 4 bids tonight. The first one is from Jeffrey Contracting from Butte.
Okay.
Chairman Morgan, we have a bid bond in the amount of 10% of the overall bid.
Thank you. Director Neary.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. Commissioners, the total price on this bid is $797,655.84. $797,655.84.
Thank you, Director Neary. The total bid is $797,655.84.
The second bid is from Hollow Contracting out of Butte.
County Attorney Enright.
Chairman Morgan, there is a bond amount in the amount of 10% of the overall bid.
Thank you. Director Neary.
Chairman Morgan, Commissioners, the total bid price on this is $689,290.45. $689,290.45.
Thank you, Director Neary. The total bid for Hollow Contracting is $290,45.
Yes. The third bid is from Helena Sand and Gravel, Montana Materials Construction out of Helena.
County Attorney Enruth. What's that? Oh. Director Neary, I'll give you a minute to open it.
Chairman Morgan, there's a bid bond amount in the amount of 10% of the overall bid.
Thank you, Director Neary.
Chairman Morgan, Commissioners, the total bid price is $652,569. $652,569.
Thank you, Director Neary. $652,569.
The final bid tonight is from Hoffman's Arnhem Services in Butte.
County Attorney Enruth.
Chairman Morgan, there's a bid bond amount in the amount of 10% of the overall bid.
Thank you, Director Neary.
Chairman Morgan, Commissioners, the total bid price of this is $711,367. $711,367 even.
Thank you. That's $711,367 or $711,367,000. No sense. Okay, and just for the members of the public, the engineer estimate on this one was $750,000. Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to refer communication number 2026-77 to Public Works with their recommendation back to council.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to refer these bids to the Public Works Department. Is there anything on the question? Commissioner Callahan.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. Mr. Neary, I guess my first question is the hot mix, is that for the roads that they're milling on the second bid, or is that for the stuff that the county's going to do?
Director Neary.
Chairman Morgan, Commissioner Callahan, the 15,000 tons is for Butte-Silver Bowl.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else on the question? There is a motion on the floor. Okay, would everyone please vote? Would anyone like to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
Ten yea, 0 nay.
Thank you. Motion passes. Moving on to presentations. Number 3, communication number 2026-83, Jesse Gonzalez, Butte Strong Neighborhood Watch, requesting Council of Commissioners permission to schedule a presentation on February 25th, 2026 regarding the safety of all residents and supporting our immigrant neighbors who may feel that feel like they do not have a choice in our community. Ms. Jesse Gonzalez, welcome. The floor is yours.
Good evening. My name is Jesse Gonzalez, and I'm here representing Butte Strong Neighborhood Watch. We are an organization that is dedicated to the education and safety of our community. We believe that an educated community is an empowered community, and only through empowerment can a community truly thrive. Our family bought a home here in 2021 after the rental market in every major city across Montana skyrocketed. And what we found here was an incredible and diverse community, a community that welcomed us with open arms. This community has allowed us to thrive. Our children are happy, healthy, and they love it here. I was able to fulfill a dream of mine and purchase a business that means a great deal to me and has an emphasis on community building. My wonderful partner, who spoke earlier, was able to start their own private practice and help marginalized community members seek safety and service they might not otherwise receive. And having been given these opportunities, it made us take a really hard look at what community means to us and how we can give back to the community that allowed us to prosper. We're currently in a time of great turmoil and divisiveness. There's an incredible amount of government overreach, misinformation, and blatant disregard for our fellow human beings, as well as their constitutional rights. While we have not seen many of these atrocities in our city yet, we have to be prepared for it to come to our neighborhoods and our towns. What we have witnessed on the news and other media outlets is despicable, frightening, and shameful. We have witnessed people being kidnapped in broad daylight, being denied their basic human rights. We have witnessed U.S. citizens being detained, harassed, and beaten without due process. We have witnessed U.S. citizens being executed in the street. We have witnessed officers so poorly trained that they accidentally discharged their weapons while in public. We've witnessed these same officers detaining their fellow officers because they have no grasp of the law they claim to uphold. We currently have a government force that is ignoring the laws that we all hold dear and harming thousands of innocent people in communities across the United States, even here in Butte and other small towns. Immigration is not the issue. People of color are not the issue, and those of lower socioeconomic status are not the issue. And this list goes on. If you could take a moment, just look at the different people in this room. We all have beliefs that differ, but we're all community. And like it or not, we are all in this together. Every single one of us is a part of this community. And like it or not, we're all in this together. And none of us are the issue. When we allow someone else to step in and tell us that any one of us are the issue, then we no longer have community. We just have division. Our own governor is investigating an entire community for simply saying they will not stand for ICE breaking the law. They don't care about me. They don't care about any of you or anyone behind me. They care about power and money without the regard for human life or the laws that they claim to uphold. And we find ourselves surrounded by people who don't even understand the basic principles of our Constitution. So I can break a little bit of it down for everybody in this room and those that are watching and listening. The U.S. Constitution's fundamental protections, such as due process, free speech, and equal protection apply to all people physically present on U.S. soil. This includes, but is not limited to, citizens, permanent residents, and undocumented immigrants. The 14th Amendment is very specific in stating that no state shall deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process or deny them equal protections under the law. And the Supreme Court has upheld this language. We are seeing currently people's first, second, fourth, fifth, sixth, and the list goes on, of their constitutional rights being violated by ICE. Just the other day, Ryan Schwank, the former ICE Assistant Chief Counsel, testified under oath, and I quote, "ICE is teaching cadets to violate the Constitution, and they are attempting to cloak it in secrecy by demanding that I lie about it." Now, there's plenty of people that will argue that undocumented immigrants don't have constitutional rights. This is not only untrue, but it is also incredibly dangerous rhetoric. When we deny one group of people their fundamental rights, we open the door to denying anyone their rights. And this is a very dangerous and irresponsible practice. Now, we know that the ICE of this administration has been in this community. We have confirmed sightings that have been corroborated by other elected officials. And when we allow someone to kidnap another human being in our own backyard and not only deny them their guaranteed constitutional rights, but also basic human decency, what are we? As Butte Strong, we will not sit idly by while communities are ravaged by those who have lost their own humanity. We will not be complacent while people are being stolen, beaten, and murdered. We will not sit by and wait for somebody else to do something, and we will certainly not ask for permission. We are citizens of this country, and just like everyone else here, we have a voice and we have the freedom to express that voice. This is the mission statement of Butte Strong. Our mission is to support community, safety, dignity, and the well-being through care, transparency, and collective responsibility. We believe that every person deserves to live free from fear, discrimination, and harm. This group exists to promote accurate information, community awareness, and mutual support, especially for neighbors who may be disproportionately impacted by enforcement activity. Guided by principles of social justice, harm reduction, and human dignity, we seek to reduce panic and misinformation, encourage lawful and nonviolent responses, strengthen community connection during times of uncertainty. We do not engage in confrontation or enforcement. We believe that safety is built through knowledge, care, and solidarity, not fear. Our work centers on compassion, accountability, and respect for the humanity of all people. As we all know, Butte was built on immigration. Butte is celebrated for its diversity. So we have come here tonight as a united group of citizens who cares deeply about our neighbors and community. We are asking, what can we do together with other city officials and the city commissioners to prevent those residing in Butte from being taken, harmed, or executed in the streets? Will you stand with us as a community in solidarity? We are here formally asking for you to meet with us and other city officials to create a community-wide task force to ensure the safety of all Butte residents, so that if and when chaos arrives, it is met with a united, coordinated community that maintains peace and upholds the law. And I'll leave with this quote: "Solidarity does not assume that our struggles are the same struggles, but it does involve commitment and work, as well as the recognition that we all live on common ground." Thank you.
Jesse, thank you for the presentation and for this topic. Do any of the commissioners have any questions? Commissioner Shea. And
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any questions for Jesse. I just want to thank you for bringing this to the public floor. I think we're all very aware of the things that are happening around us, and we don't necessarily want those to happen there, but we definitely don't want them to happen here. So I look forward to talking to you guys and getting your ideas and working with other officials and, you know, seeing what we can do to be proactive. It's really scary, and you think things can't happen to you until they do. And so thank you very much for bringing this to everybody's attention.
Chief Executive Gallagher, you have something, and then Commissioner Healy.
Thank you, Jesse, for being here. And I think that, you know, Butte has always, you know, really embraced inclusivity, and we, you know, have a non-discrimination ordinance around some of the things that we were talking about here. I do have a question, though. You did make a statement saying that this has happened in our community and community officials know about that, and it's been confirmed. The county attorney and I looked at each other with confusion. It's not something that we know of, and we would like to know what information that is.
Okay.
Jesse, hold on. Chief Executive Gallagher, are you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Sorry.
Jesse, go ahead.
Sorry. They did request, I guess, to remain anonymous. I would be happy to discuss it outside of this, however.
Chief Executive Gallagher.
Yeah. Thank you, Jesse. It's just the fact that it was in a public forum that came out, and you know that's concerning because it's not something that any of us are aware of that has happened here. And I think that within the government agency, and the sheriff is in here, and I don't know if he could weigh in on that. It's something that we are not aware of that has happened in our community. But I just wanted to put that. I appreciate your presentation today. I think that Butte is really a place of inclusivity, and it has been. And I think it's this council has shown that over time and time again. So thank you for your presentation today.
Thank you. Commissioner Healy.
I just wanted to thank you too for bringing this to the forefront as a person who is now carrying her passport and still know that it probably wouldn't do me any good. I am committed to helping you guys.
Any other commissioners? Commissioner Gerbrandt.
Yes, Mr. Chair, and Jesse, appreciate your presentation here. My parents, my dad came from Canada, and my mom was born in China and came to California at age 13. This is back in 1937, okay? Coming a little closer to our time here, about a month ago, we all experienced a big windstorm, and the roof left my garage. 2 days ago, a group of workers came to put a new roof on my house, on my garage. The foreman didn't speak much English. They put that roof on in a day and a half and did an excellent job. And I'm thankful that they were here, and thankful that I have a roof again and don't have to worry about water coming down on my cars. It occurs to me that neighborhood watches used to look out for crime, and it's kind of interesting that now we're looking out after our own government. So I commend you on your work, and appreciate your presentation.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the commissioners? Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you being here. I just want to ditto what was said by Commissioner Shea, Commissioner Gerbrandt, and Commissioner Healy. And the inquest by Chief Executive Gallagher is interesting, and I think this is an opening door for future development in your call. And anyone that's listening, this is how you get things done in a small community like Butte-Silver. This is how you get out to the public. You know, we lost a great journalist here in the last few days who did express things that happened at the meeting. We have no media. We have no advertising anymore in Butte. You know, our news comes from Bozeman. We don't have a good TV. We have no newspaper. We have no outlet to let people know what's going on. I appreciate you coming forward and letting us know what's going on, because it enlightened me quite a bit. And I just came from Arizona and I've seen a lot of what is taking place, so thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Fisher. Is there any other questions or comments? All right. Well, seeing none, Jesse, thank you for your presentation and for bringing this forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on tonight's agenda is communication number 2026-85. Shanna Adams, Uptown Butte Business Improvement District Chairman, requesting Council of Commissioners permission to schedule a presentation on February 25th, 2026 regarding the Uptown Butte BID annual budget. Ms. Adams.
Thank you. Good evening. I have a presentation that'll be up in just a second. But I'll go ahead and get started. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about the Uptown Butte Business Improvement District. Some of you have been here through the whole formation of the district. Some of you haven't. So I'm just going to give a little bit of a history about how we got here and then tell you about our budget for 2026. So just those two things tonight.
Ms. Adams. Barb, are they? Oh. So somebody's working on it? Okay. Okay. Ms. Adams, is there anything that you can talk about? Or, I mean, if not, I understand. I can move on and come back to this communication if you'd rather do that.
Best, I think. I mean, I only have 10 or 12 slides. I'm going to try to keep it short, but I think that'll probably be best.
Sure. If it's okay with this body, I would just continue on with the agenda and then we'll just come back to this communication. Moving on to section 2, communication number 1, 2025-581. Will O'Connor, Lands Records Coordinator, requesting Council Commissioners to approve Council Communication number 2025-249, a request from Patty and Chris Salmonson to purchase land owned by Butte-Silver Bow located adjacent to their property located at 17 Tullamore Street. We'll continue to hold this in abeyance pending another response back from the Land Sales Committee. As people will recall, we did have that committee come up and give us a better idea of how we're going to move forward. And so now we'll just wait for them to bring back those formal proposals. So we'll continue to hold that one in abeyance. Number 2, 2025-249. This is Patty and Chris Salmonson requesting Council Commissioners approval to purchase a portion of land owned by Butte-Silver Bow, which is adjacent to their property located at 17 Tullamore Street. We'll continue to hold this one in abeyance as well. Number 3, communication 2025-587, Bill Kelly, 403 Transit Street, Butte, Montana, requesting Council Commissioners authorization to purchase parcel 0001904-920 that is directly bordering my property for improved maintenance, utilization, and management of the area. We'll continue to hold this one in abeyance pending a report back from the Land Sales Committee. Number 4, communication 26-18, Kelly Sullivan, BLDC Executive Director, requesting Council Commissioners permission to schedule a presentation on March 4th, 2026 regarding the BLDC's recently completed 5-year strategic plan. We'll continue to hold this in abeyance pending the presentation on March 4th. Number 5, communication 2026-63, Mark Neary, Public Works Director, requesting Council of Commissioners permission to schedule a public hearing on March 4th, 2026 for the purpose of soliciting comments on the final drought management plan. A resolution will be submitted after the public hearing. We'll continue to hold this in abeyance pending the public hearing on March 4th. Communication number 26-67, Brian Sullivan, Ad Hoc Chairman, requesting Council of Commissioners permission to schedule a presentation on February 18th, 2026 for an update on the Ad Hoc Data Center Impact Committee. We did hold this presentation last week, so Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to place communication number 2026-67 on file.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to place communication 26-67 on file. Is there anything on the question? Will everyone please vote? Would anyone like to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
10 yea, 0 nay.
Thank you. Motion passes. Next item is number 7, communication 26-72. Karen Malogny, Butte-Silver Bow Health Officer, requesting Council Commissioners' permission to schedule a presentation on February 18th, 26th for an update on the Butte-Silver Bow Health Department. We did hold this presentation, so Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to place communication number 2026-72 on file.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to place communication 26-72 on file. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? I can't see the glare. We're good? Is anyone like to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
10 yea, 0 nay.
Thank you. Motion passes. Number 7, communication 2026-83. Jesse Gonzalez, Butte Strong Neighborhood Watch, requesting Council of Commissioners permission to schedule a presentation on February 25th, 26 regarding the safety of all residents and supporting our immigrant neighbors who may feel that they do not have a choice in our community. We did hold this presentation tonight, so Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to place communication number 2026-83 on file.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to place communication 26-83 on file. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would anyone like to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
10 yea, 0 nay.
Thank you. Motion passes. Number 9, communication. We're going to hold that one for now. Do we have that presentation available, Barb?
No, I don't need it anymore.
Okay. I'll move on and come back. Number 10, communication number 2026-93. Bill Kelly, 403 Walkerville, Montana, requesting Council of Commissioners approval to purchase 3 parcels of land for improved maintenance, utilization, and management of the area, which is directly bordering property that he currently owns. Parcel number 1904920, 1903480, and 1904910. We'll continue to hold that in abeyance pending a report back from Land Sales Committee. Next item on tonight's agenda would be public comment on any public matter that's not on the agenda, being that we're kind of changing the order of the agenda. I would open up that section for any public comment on any public matter that's not on the agenda. If there's any member of the public that would like to speak on any matter that's not on tonight's agenda, now would be your opportunity. Okay, seeing none, I guess I'll have to stand up and do stand-up comedy, which you guys will all be bored, for the rest of your lives. So, we will patiently wait. Would this body be okay if we entertained a 5-minute recess? All right, we'll take a 5-minute recess and reset. I'll reconvene the Butte-Silver Bow Council of Commissioners Committee of the Whole meeting for Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. I will go to section presentations number 4. Shanna Adams, Uptown Butte Business Improvement District Chairman, requesting Council of Commissioners permission to schedule a presentation on February 25th, 2026 regarding Uptown Butte BID annual budget. Before we do that, I better ask for a roll call to make sure that we have the same amount of commissioners. Better follow a procedure that I haven't had to do that very often. So can we please get a roll call? Hope it doesn't mess up the presentation. Would everyone please check in? Commissioner Callahan, Commissioner Boyle, Walker. Okay, would the clerk please run the roll call?
1 presiding, 9 present, 2 absent.
Okay, let the record reflect O'Neill and Mankins are still excused. Moving on to number 4, Communication 2026-85. And we have a presentation. Ms. Adams, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Morgan, members of the Commission, Chief Executive Gallagher. Like I said before, I'm just here to present the 2026 budget for the Business Improvement District. And I'm sorry I don't know the name of the artist. I can't remember. But this is a great piece of art, and I will find the artist. Okay, a business improvement district. This is a new thing for Butte. It's not a new thing for Montana. This is the Montana Code annotated that allows us to have a business improvement district. It was passed through a council resolution and a council ordinance. We had a board established. You can see the board members up there. They are all property owners in the district, plus representative from Northwest Energy, who is a property owner in the district. This is the district boundary. If you're not familiar with what that looks like, it's generally the C3 boundary with a little bit of modifications. The C3 being the commercial core. I'm just going to go through a really brief timeline because I know some people were not here through this whole process. So 2018, there was a large community meeting talking about the direction of Uptown Butte. After that meeting, small groups started meeting and talking about pulling together a master plan, marketing, talking about alley cleanup, different topics. Meetings continued. We continue to do research with other communities and try to understand what their master plans look like, which ones were effective, which ones weren't effective, plans that had been done in Butte in the past. That's one thing we heard is, another plan. So we went through all the plans that have been done in the last 3 decades and tried to figure out which ones were effective and which ones weren't and why. And then 2020, we kicked off our master plan process. This was funded by the state, the URA, and private donations. If you haven't seen the Uptown Butte Master Plan, it is on uptownbuttemasterplan.com, I think. It was adopted in 2022 as part of the comprehensive plan. We held over 50 meetings to pull that master plan together. Out of that plan, there were 30 projects or initiatives. One of them was the Business Improvement District. So then in 2024, we took on trying to get this district established. We had to get 60% of the property owners to sign a petition, being willing to essentially tax themselves. We crossed that hurdle in 2024. Also in 2024, Butte-Silver Bow Council voted unanimously to participate in the Business Improvement District. Resolution was passed, ordinance was passed, the board was established about mid-year last year. So we've just been kind of getting things up and running, mission statement, bylaws, all that good stuff. If you haven't seen the master plan, this is kind of what it looks like. These images represent what we heard from the community in terms of vibrancy, pedestrian access, safety. And then this is kind of a snapshot of what that business improvement district process looked like. Between myself, members of the board, other volunteers, we had over 200 conversations with property owners. It was a lot of cups of coffee at Orofino to talk about the vision, ask people to tax themselves, which is no joke, right? And again, we crossed that hurdle in 2024. Just some more images of what it looked like: community meetings, community cleanup. Okay, so these are the 30 projects or initiatives that came out of the master plan. These are the ones that are either done or have made significant progress since that plan was adopted. And as I kind of looked at this list, most of these things remaining are things that the Business Improvement District is planning to tackle. This is just some of the things that have been completed to date. You know, we've written grants and raised money over $300,000 to get various projects done already. The bottom left is a map that we pulled together, pushed out pretty quickly for the holiday season this year, so retailers would have a map that they could tell people where to go. The map is undergoing some kind of major revisions right now and will be re-released in the spring. And then the bottom right is some wayfinding. I just finished the RFP for wayfinding today, so that will go out to some sign contractors. We have all the funding needed to get those signs made and installed in the uptown area. Okay, so this is kind of what our budget looks like for 2026. The assessment total is about $238,000. And then we have written grants for another $135,000 that have already been awarded. We're working really hard to make sure we use those tax dollars efficiently and effectively, but also leverage them into other dollars. And we're kind of just getting started on that. So this is what the budget breakdown looks like. This is modeled after what we talk to people about. And let's see. And then these are some of the projects that are in the works. So I talked a little bit about the map. That's what the other side of it looks like. It's going through some kind of fun revisions now. The website is going to be completely redesigned. We just signed a contract with a web designer. The website will do a lot of things that we feel is needed in the community, in terms of being an event calendar, in terms of being a place where people can go to find empty spaces in this district for rent or for sale, as well as promote the district. Snow removal may be a moot point for this year, but we're working on a contract with the snow removal company to remove snow on the sidewalks. We have a RFP right now out for a social media person to do social media and marketing for the Uptown district. We're putting 10 more garbage cans in the Uptown area. They'll all have a QR code on them, so people can scan the QR code if the garbage can is full, and it'll go straight to McGree. Let's see, I have some more pictures. This is the website. It's getting redesigned. Wayfinding, I talked about that a little bit. We are going to have our first community meeting on April 9th at 5:30. Mark your calendars. It'll be at the Elks. There may be Singo. I don't know, but it's going to be fun. But we want to get input from everybody who's paying into the district, also business owners, people who live in the district. We're going to talk about the plans and try to get more feedback from the community. Next up, kind of on our future agendas, we'll be talking about a clean team. We've already talked about kind of what a facade improvement program might look like. We're all kind of familiar with the phenomenon of when your neighbor's lawn and yard looks really, really nice, you feel compelled to kind of fix yours up a little bit. So we're really interested in helping property owners improve the appearance of their buildings. We are working on the gateway at Montana Street. We've got some new updated renderings. Have talked to MDT about that, kind of started some of those discussions. And then, you know, we looked at some of those renderings from the Uptown Master Plan, and they're great in terms of encompassing what we heard from the community, but we will need to take those kind of to the next step and figure out what is the right thing to do in terms of streetscaping or lane reconfigurations, and work with the county and work with MDT on what that really looks like. So we're starting that process as well. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. It's kind of exciting to see how this progress, or how this project has grown over the years, from 2018 till now. And now it's really cool to see some of it to come to fruition and see some of the projects that you're doing. So nice job to you and your committee for doing what you do. Is there any questions or comments that this body has? Commissioner Callahan.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. Ms. Adams, thank you for all you guys' hard work. I know you got a great team. You guys put an incredible amount of time to get to where you're at, and you're making great progress for your first year. I know when you first had brought this to us that your goal was to be able to raise that certain amount of money and then to leverage it with other grants for matching money and stuff. Have you had much success in our first year with that, or?
Yeah,
Ms.
so,
Adams.
sorry.
You're fine.
Chairman Morgan. So the assessments will be about $238,000 for the year, and we've already raised $135,000 on top of that. So whatever that leverage ratio is.
Great.
And with more in the works.
Good. That's good. Well, keep up the good work. We're seeing progress, and we appreciate all the hard work you guys have done, and we wish you well.
Great. Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan, Shanna, great job. Stites, good job. I mean, I love this project. You guys have done a phenomenal job with it. Shanna, really quick question. You talk about your RFPs. Is that something, just so the public can hear, or is that on Butte-Silver's website that you're putting these out there? Just so, the public can remain engaged on that side of it too.
Ms. Adams.
Yeah, Chairman Morgan, Commissioner Thatcher, we are following our procurement rules that we went through the county attorney, make sure we're all doing things the way we're supposed to be doing them. The snow removal RFP did go out through the county's website, kind of those traditional channels. Social media, we've just pushed out on our own, and similarly with the website. So we're just kind of following our own procurement rules and making sure things are publicly announced as best we can.
Follow-up, Commissioner Thatcher? No?
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. No real follow-up, but just wanted that to get on the record. So thank you guys again. I appreciate it. It's a great job.
Okay. Any other comments? Commissioner O'Leary.
Thank you, Chair Morgan. Ms. Adams, thank you for all you do on this. It's a great project. A couple quick questions. First one, with the bulb outs in Uptown, I know that's a contentious thing. A lot of people feel very strongly about it. I'm a big proponent of them. I think they're fantastic. Is there a funding source located for that or determined for that going forward? And can you just talk a little bit about it?
Ms. Adams.
Yes, Chairman Morgan, Commissioner O'Leary. So that project was funded by the URA. So the URA has been a terrific partner throughout this whole process and will continue to be a great partner for the Business Improvement District. But that project was funded through that organization. And the URA, it's my understanding, wants to continue to support these types of projects in Uptown. So we will just need to work together on what those look like moving forward. And I think, I talked a little bit about kind of developing more of the streetscaping plan, lane reconfiguration. It's a little bit interesting because our board needs to do things that are small and things that are big. We need to do things that are maintenance and things that are big capital projects, right? So it's kind of balancing all of those things, but some of these, like more curve extensions, lane reconfiguration, streetscaping, those types of things are larger projects. And so we'll be working with the URA and the county and MDT to make sure those are really gonna be worthwhile for the community.
Follow-up, Commissioner O'Leary.
Thank you for the clarification on that. I think it would be worthwhile for us as a commission to consider putting some money in the budget next year for some of these projects. I think it'd be great to support. I appreciate that. Another question revolving around snow removal. Is that going to be for the entire bid district, that you're going to do all the sidewalks in the bid area?
Ms. Adams.
Chairman Morgan, Commissioner O'Leary. So what that looks like right now with our snow removal contract, that we are still kind of in negotiations with a contractor. It is the entire district. We have kind of a priority 1 area, priority 2 area, and it's just kind of what you would think, starting in the heart, like Park and Main, major thoroughfares, and then moving out. We have a trigger, I believe, of 1 inch, is that right, of snow to trigger a snow removal event, and then we have a per event cost from the contractor, and then what we've done is put a cap on that contract. So we'll say, this is what we're going to do, these are the priority areas, this is the trigger, and then we're going to spend up to X amount. You know, this year that worked out pretty good. Next year we might be spent by December or something, right? So those are things that we'll just need to over communicate with everybody in the district, and it'll help once we have our website up and running and social media up and running. Part of that is collecting everyone's contact information. So we have a survey and a QR code, and all of that will go out, like with this community meeting, so that we can contact everyone and say, okay, like that was it for sidewalk snow removal, or, you know, so it'll be kind of a communication intense thing to make sure people know what's happening. But yeah, that's kind of how that contract is set up, I think was your question.
Follow-up, Commissioner O'Leary.
Thank you, Chair Morgan. That sounds like a good plan. I know walking in uptown Butte in the wintertime can be very treacherous, so the more we can keep those sidewalks clean, the better. Going on to the garbage cans, I know Butte-Silver Bow has a bunch of garbage cans that I don't actually, maybe the chief executive knows the answer to this, what department we are using to deal with those garbage cans, but just from a continuity perspective, wondering if that conversation has been had around combining forces and making sure that all the garbage cans are getting emptied, because I know, like, especially on certain days of the year, those garbage cans are overflowing, and it's certainly a problem, but I don't know if the chief executive can answer that question.
Mr. Chief Executive.
Yeah. Thank you, Chairman Morgan and Commissioner O'Leary. That is, they were put in place by the URA Uptown, I believe. We have a contract with McGree that they pick up on a regular basis up there. And then during times of festivals and high use, we do utilize county personnel, Parks and Rec in particular, because we do have a garbage truck. So we do send them out to empty those at times, and we do work with McGree at that time. But I'm not positive within the BID if you coordinated efforts with Karen, and I think you have, on what those look like and things. So.
Ms. Adams.
Yes, Chairman Morgan. So 2 things. First of all, just to go back to the snow removal really quick, I do think it's just important to note that there is a snow removal ordinance in place, right? So again, this will be an iterative process of doing something that helps everybody in the district by clearing the snow on the sidewalks so shoppers and tourists and everyone can get around safely, but also noting who is not ever shoveling and kind of helping to communicate those things with the county and make sure that that ordinance is enforced. So just wanted to make that clear that this is not a like get out of ordinance free program here for anybody, right? We're just trying to do what we can to help local businesses and residences. To the garbage cans, one of our other board members has taken that project on. So I know that those cans, I think, Butte-Silver Bow had them, and I don't think they've been placed yet. So there's 10 that one of our other board members has been working with the county to figure out where those need to go and get those placed. And the last I heard, we were still working on those QR codes to get those on the garbage can. So I think, and I think Director Neary's here, I obviously will have to work with Public Works and the county and just make sure those get placed appropriately.
Any other questions from the commissioners? Okay. Seeing none, thank you very much for the presentation. All right, last item on tonight's agenda is going back to number 9, Communication 2026-85. Shanna Adams, Uptown Butte Business Improvement District Chairman, requesting Council Commissioners' permission to schedule a presentation on February 25th, 2026 regarding the Uptown Butte BID annual budget. Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. I'd like to make a motion to place communication number 2026-85 on file.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to place communication 26-85 on file. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Commissioner Gerbrandt. Okay, would anyone like to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
10 yea, 0 nay.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes. I believe that concludes the business on this this council meeting. So before I move to adjourn, I just want to say, Mr. Smith, I still expect to see a communication in the newspaper tomorrow regarding the topics that were discussed tonight, because they're very important to our community, and hopefully that gets continued to be picked up. So at this time, I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second. Did you make the motion? Motion to adjourn.
I asked for a motion to adjourn.
Oh, I thought you made it. Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Anything on the question? All those in favor?